Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's AMA. We have some exciting things we want to share with you guys today. I have a few weeks of announcements planned. I could share everything today, but I'm deciding to hold a little bit back so I have a few weeks of good momentum going into this month and just straight up into summer. So we'll dive right in. First and foremost, thank you everybody for joining in. Um, we've got a good one for you today. So I'm going to keep it short and simple, and I'm just going to go straight to the point. I have pretty much two major announcements that I want to talk about today. Number one being, a few weeks ago, Peter hinted out that we're kind of working on putting together an idea for our first game, right? So it would be a play to earn game, and it would be based on like a 2D model. So we've actually been working quite extensively on that, and we're actually in a phase right now where we've hired a development team, and we're working with them closely to actually bring this game to life. And it's going to be pretty cool because it's going to feature the entire ecosystem. It's going to feature people who have their NFTs as well. So it's going to be a new way that you can interact with your NFTs as well. You don't need to have NFTs, but if you do, even better. You'd be able to interact whether you have it or not. So think of it like another layer of Warzone. Um, it's definitely going to be something that is kind of simple, but it's very complex at the same time. There's going to be all kinds of mechanics built into it, questing, doing things with your friends, leveling up, you name it. We'll I'll work on giving more information, as time goes on. But that's going to be massive for us because that's another big way that we're going to be able to market our project. Uh, I know P2E games were one of the biggest like things back in the day. People would go crazy over it. The issue is most of them were pretty low effort, and most of them were pretty one-sided, and a lot of the communities that would use those games didn't really have a big user base, and they didn't really have a big support base. So it was on kind of like micro cap projects. Whereas now we have like an entire ecosystem. We've got thousands of people that are holders in the project, and we've got thousands of people that will pretty much interact with it. And I think it's going to be something that could be pretty big, especially in terms of like how we can market it. So that's something that we're super super excited about. And yeah, I'll definitely keep sharing more information with you guys on that as things develop. We are going to be working on putting a trailer out as well, a hype trailer. So that's something to keep your eyes open for. I'm not sure when it's going to drop. We're still in pretty early stages of development, so this isn't like something that is going to happen overnight or in a week or two. It is going to take a little bit of time, but the important thing is that it's uh, it's already in a stage where we're pretty comfortable talking about it. So yeah, I love that. And another thing, I guess that's an addition to that is obviously we've got the whole summer campaign that I've been talking about, right? And this summer campaign, I've set a goal with it. The chat is saying yes, the game is coming. Um, what was the 2024 hint about? Okay, so anyway, with the whole summer campaign, we've got a goal that I've set in mind, and the goal that I've got in mind is I want to inject at least at a minimum 1,000 ETH into the ShibaDoge project. And not just the ShibaDoge project, but the ShibaDoge ecosystem. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. We're going to focus heavily more on ShibaDoge with this injection, but the entire ecosystem is going to benefit from it. So there will be percentages of that going into to other parts of the ecosystem as well, like burn gold, et cetera, et cetera. And you might ask how we're going to do that. well, 1,000 ETH is something that we're putting our mind to as it being the minimum threshold that we want to accomplish by the end of summer. Now, I know it's a pretty ambitious goal. What's 1,000 ETH right now? 1,000 ETH costs, I can't do math, my brain is fried. So what is it, 1,000 times, let's say, 36 cents. So it's like about $3.5 million to $4 million, depending on what the price of ETH is by the end of summer. Could be more, depending on what happens with ETH and the ETF and everything that's coming in. But 1,000 ETH. Now, what would that do for us? Obviously, it would take a lot of the current holdings that people have got, and not only. Oh, hold on, I forgot to mention this part as well. We're not just going to inject the 1,000 ETH and just let it be. We're going to use it and kind of like buy onto the chart, right, and burn those tokens away. So it's pretty much going to make, that ETH that comes into the project impossible to come out of the project, unless obviously people, sell and liquidate or whatever. But there won't ever be a way for us to be like, hey, we want to sell our 1,000 ETH investment into out of the project or whatever. That's just not going to happen. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of water. So now you might ask, where the hell are we going to get 1,000 ETH from? Obviously, I'm not going to put 1,000 ETH out of my own pocket. Peter's not going to put 1,000 ETH out of his own pocket. You're not going to put 1,000 ETH out of your own pocket. So what's the plan? How are we going to raise 1,000 ETH? How are we going to push this to the next level? And how are we going to use that and leverage everything that we've built, and also spread our brand to a new level? And that's where the society comes in. So yesterday I released a new society group as well. So now we have the call channel group of the society, which is something that I'll be using for some sort of announcements and updates and things of that nature. But now we have the main group of the society. If you haven't joined, check out the pinned message and join the group. It's I believe it's the most previous or the second most previous pinned message. I'll have to double check. But that's where the society group is going to come in. And the way that the society group is going to help to raise that 1,000 ETH is we're actually going to be onboarding all kinds of people and projects to pretty much have our launch support. We're going to help people, whether they're regular people or they're experienced veterans in the space that are launching projects. We're going to give them full launch support. We're going to give them full advisory support. So I'll walk people through the process. Pretty much a entire one-on-one, kind of like me being able to help people out in terms of, think of it like a launchpad, the society being a launchpad. But how are we going to benefit from it, right? Everything that gets launched through the society launchpad and the society onboarding program that we have, we come in to help them with and kind of help them use our connections, our resources, our pretty much everything that we've got to offer. We're going to be giving to these teams in order to give them the best chance of having a successful launch and a successful project. We're going to be taking one of two things: either a stake in their liquidity pool, right? Whether we'll be like, hey, this is going to be 10 or 5% or whatever of your liquidity pool, which we'll be able to kind of be in control of, right? The ShibaDoge ecosystem would own 10% of that liquidity pool, or depending on if it's a tax token or something that can raise funds and revenue in a different way, we will have percentage of that. So it's kind of goes down to a little bit of a negotiation thing. Excuse me one second. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. So it comes down to kind of like a negotiation thing, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be onboarding people, and we're going to be helping projects come to life using the society and use all of the resources that we've got under our belts and the people that we've met over the past 3 years, and kind of like building this entire one-shot ecosystem where people can thrive and build successful things and launch successful things out of the society. Now, to kick things off, we're going to do the first one ourselves, right? And what that's gonna mean is we're gonna launch the first project off the society. We're gonna use the funds that a percentage of the funds that get generated to do the first buyback and burn for the society ecosystem. We're aiming for that to be anywhere between the ballpark of 50 to 100 ETH. It could be more, but that's the ballpark we're aiming for. We're going to prove the concept out. We're going to show everybody what its capabilities are. It's just going to be a brand new way of kind of like expanding in this ecosystem. I don't really think it has been done before. I know there are some launch pads that exist, and there are some people who kind of like, help projects, go live from the beginning, but never in this business model and never in this business structure where there's ongoing support, where we have our team members kind of like, helping people out through every step of the way, even post-launch, even pre-launch, even during the pre-planning stages, how to make sure that, we've learned a lot through the years, and we've made some mistakes. We've learned from our mistakes as well, and we've built systems in order to kind of, avoid those mistakes from happening again. And, I think we have a pretty big opportunity to help a lot of people build a lot of great projects. And the better those projects are, the more our projects will benefit, because we're going to own a stake in that project. And the stake in that project is going to be liquidity that can then be used to, purchase and burn our own ecosystem. And realistically, as long as there isn't sell pressure coming in from those buys, then, mathematically, this thing should cause all of our charts to just go vertical, right? So that's the plan, and we're going to be doing the first one ourselves, like I said, to prove the concept. We're also going to be doing it to kind of like show the world, like, hey, this is what the society can do. And it's not only going to be like an alpha group, it's also going to be more or less of a everything crypto type of group, right? And we're going to be building some of the best things in the space. Think of it like Shark Tank in a sense, right? We're here putting our resources, our money where our mouth is, bringing in not only the projects and ideas that we could think of, but the projects and ideas that a lot of other smart people in the ecosystem can think of, bringing them to life. And, the more successful they are, in turn, the more successful we'll be. And this is pretty massive for the exposure that we're going to get, because other projects are pretty much subconsciously going to be promoting us, whether they talk about us or not. Sorry, I'm running out of breath. Whether they're talking about us or not. And the reason why that's going to happen is because everything that's launched onto society, there are going to be some guidelines, like, hey, you have to, on your website, brand the society, tag the society, bring people into the group. There will be different ways and opportunities for us to kind of like interact with the group members as well. And hold on, I'm reading some of these questions that's coming in. Live Life asks, how does it help our ShibaDoge ecosystem? Investors will kill zeros on ShibaDoge. Question number 2, what about projects not doing well at the time of launch? Do they still get liquidity? Can ShibaDoge investors get percentage share of the liquidity pool via airdrops? Very good questions. So the first question I'll answer is, what about the projects that are not doing well at the time of launch? Do we still get liquidity? Yes. So no matter what, whether the projects do well or not, there will be a deal put in place where we own a certain amount of their liquidity pool, right? So just like how you could lock your tokens into a liquidity locker when you launch a token, right? People go in and say, hey, I've locked the liquidity in Unicrypt, for example. The way that it would work is they would lock 90% of their liquidity into Unicrypt, and then the other 10% of their liquidity would be sent over to our holding wallet, which would be, let's call it the ShibaDoge or the Society vault or whatever, right? So we would, no matter what, get 10% of all of the liquidity that is put into the project from the very beginning. And the way that that works is it compounds, right? As liquidity gets injected, as liquidity goes up, you own those tokens, and those tokens could go up in value, go down in value based off of that. So no matter what, we're going to be getting that percentage of liquidity that is negotiated. Or like I said, if people opt to not go with the liquidity route and they're doing like a tax token, or there's different ways that they're planning to want to generate revenue, we'd get a stake in that instead. So that's how that would work. The next question is, can ShibaDoge investors get percentage share of the liquidity pool via airdrops? That's a good question, and that's something that we can actually talk more about. My idea for how that would work in some of the scenarios would be, look, number one goal is to inject the money that we make back into the ecosystem and burn the tokens. That's the number one goal. The number two goal, what we may do with some of the funds that are made, is we may actually take them and we'll be like, hey, we've raised 50 ETH today or this week or whatever, right? Let's say, hey, that's 50 ETH. What we want to do is we want to add this to the war zone, right? So we would inject it into Warzone. People are actively in the Warzone right now with their NFTs, and we would pretty much say, hey, this is added to the rewards that people get. So now instead of getting just tokens from burn from ShibaDoge, you would now either get an additional reward as well, which would be either in the form of ETH or whatever native currency or whatever it is that's supplied. So that's another one idea for how we may kind of use the percentage of money that gets made. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But the number one goal, like I said, is to be able to use the money that is generated and put it straight into ShibaDoge and the ecosystem with a minimum threshold goal of raising and buying back and burning a minimum of 1,000 ETH by the end of summer. Sounds ambitious, but it's really not that bad if you make about 150 to 200, 300 ETH per launch, per project. That's only a handful of projects for you to meet your goal. So it's definitely doable. And it's something we're extremely excited about, because if it goes the way that we want it to go, and it's as successful as I envision it to be, it could be the single most important and best thing and best decision that we've ever made in the ecosystem, because there is not a single person in this call or even in this chat room out of the thousands of people that are in here that is ever going to step up and say, hey, I want to buy 1,000 ETH of any project and burn it. That's just not going to happen, right? Let alone 10 ETH, right? No one's going to just be like, hey, let me drop 10 ETH and burn my entire bag. That's just not going to happen. Like, no one's going to do that. Maybe 1 in a billion people would be crazy enough to do that. And that's what we're proposing, right? We're proposing to be kind of doing good for the entire space by helping people onboard and kickstart their projects. So even if you're a regular average Joe and you have a good idea and you don't know where the heck to start, but you want to have your own project, you could come to me, and it costs you nothing up front. You don't have to have the money. If you don't have the money, we'll put up the money for your idea, but it's got to, obviously then the deals change and things go into negotiation mode, but we will bring people's ideas to life, and in doing so we will be benefiting for the entire ecosystem. And obviously everybody that's invested in the ecosystem is going to reap the rewards of that, because all the money that's being generated is coming back into the ecosystem, and not only in a way where it's just going back into it, it's being bought and burned. So yeah, that's how that's going to work. And to kick things off, we're going to do the first thing ourselves, and kind of to give you guys a little hint on what we decided to go with. Is we decided to follow the current meta. So we're like, hey, you know, what's something that's a current meta? What's something that people are going after right now? And then we're like, hey, eureka moment. There's this entire GameStop debacle happening with Roaring Kitty and, you know, the meme stocks and everything going crazy. So obviously GameStop is everywhere in the news and people are waiting for AMC. So we decided to do a token called AMC, which would be called America's Meme Coin. You guys could look it up. We already have a website up for it as well. I'll go ahead and link it in here right now. One moment. There it goes. Yeah. Boom. So that's going to be the first official society project. That's going to be the first thing that we're going to use to prove the concept of the society. And I'm going to open up an application portal as well for people who want to use the society to launch their own project. You guys will be able to send in your proposals, what you want to do, what your ideas are, and then we can always set up a call with myself, the rest of my team, and we could talk through what your guys' launch plans are and how we can help and how we can assist in bringing that to a reality, using all of our resources. And what's also going to be a cool thing is with this whole society thing, a lot of people are going to be able to get jobs as well, right? So even if you don't want to launch a project, we will be giving out some type of commission for people that put in referrals. So if you bring somebody in that decides that they want to launch a project and we close the deal with the person that you brought in, you guys will be able to generate a pretty hefty commission from that deal. So it's all about giving back to the ecosystem as well. I know a lot of you guys are invested in other projects as well, and you guys know other team members, and you guys know other, you know, friends or whoever else that may want to experiment with that in the future. It's just another opportunity for you guys to make money. And you know, we are definitely going to be having like an affiliate program and ways that people can participate by helping us onboard people and projects. The more people and projects we bring on board, the better we will do as a community and as an ecosystem as well. Obviously, quality over quantity, but you know, in the beginning stages, we will take what we could get because we are trying to spread the word of this, and we are trying to put the name out as soon as possible. So, yeah. With that being said, I do have more announcements over the coming weeks, but I'm just going to keep it to those two for now. I'm going to bring on questions because I'm sure people have a lot of questions, and I'm more than happy to answer everybody. And yeah, this is something that, by the way, like we want to have go live on Tuesday. So just keep in mind that it's something that's going to happen fairly quick. So we want to launch either Monday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday, the latest, but we're aiming for Tuesday. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen?
It's VN. Is the AMC launched yet, or you are going to launch it next week?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
Is the AMC already out, or you are going to launch it?
No, it's not out yet. This is going to be the first society project, and it'll come out. It'll come out next week. We're aiming for the 12th.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we've done is we've combined all the metas, right? So people are like, they have the American meta, they have the meme stock meta, and we've kind of just like combined those two together to kind of use it to be AMC. Crypto Legion says new token WTF. Yeah, bro. If you haven't been listening to the AMA, we're going to be using the society to launch the first society token ourselves, and we're going to be proving the concept, and the money that's raised from this is going to come back into the ShibaDoge ecosystem as a buyback and burn.
Thank you.
Which chain will this be on? It will be on ETH. The website, yeah. If you're looking at the website and you see a date or anything on there, well, I don't see any dates on there, but this is still something that is being edited right now. I don't see a date on there, but where do you see a date on there, KG? Oh yeah. Don't those are just placeholders that we've put. Ignore that. We'll get it fixed.
Other for more, either got more questions, but it looks like everyone's just, chilled. They understand, man. It'll generate more money for the ShibaDoge ecosystem and the buyback and burns, bro. Like, people want that, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah, 100%, dude. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of what this is going to be. And think about it. If we do like 3 projects a week for other people, right? Like people approach us and say, "Hey, Leo, I want to launch Money Wall Inu," right? Just putting a random ass name out there, and they give me their idea and say, and they want us for their launch support. They want us for all of our services that we have that we can offer, and ongoing advisory and just everything. We could do 3 of those a week, easy. And if we get 5 to 10% of their LP from all of those, even if there's 50 grand being made from each one, that's $150,000 a week that'll come right back into our ecosystem. That's a pretty ambitious number, but it's also a number that's kind of achievable because, successful projects, they make pretty decent money, man. Like, for example, like even on, let's say, the gold launch that happened, right? The money that was raised from that, even in the first like few minutes, was pretty extraordinary. Like you can, if you have a good launch plan and you have good money coming in, those liquidity pools become pretty fat. Gold didn't reach $100 million, $50 million market cap. It reached, I believe, like, I can't remember the exact all-time high, but it didn't reach 50 or 100 or anything like crazy like that. But the liquidity pool still had a very significant amount of money while on that launch day and launch week. So, if projects are that are coming out are sanctioned to come out in the correct way and have the best marketing available to them from the very beginning, and they're able to generate a hype launch and they're able to generate a lot of volume, then what's going to happen is that we're going to benefit a lot from that, even if we own 10% of that liquidity pool or we raise 10% of the revenue that they make. So it's definitely a plan that can make a lot of money for our ecosystem if done correctly.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. On YouTube, I got a question from Flemings. Why has the ShibaDoge price been volatile?
So the price change for ShibaDoge is, I don't want to say volatile based off of the action that ShibaDoge has been getting, but it's been volatile based off of the action that ETH has been getting. So we saw a little bit of a dip in ETH and pretty much all of crypto today by like 3 or 4%. So that's probably the reaction why ShibaDoge was able to kind of go a little bit down on the chart, because I was looking at my portfolio too, and everything was affected by today's dip.
Bro, if you keep doing this, bro, one of these projects might just hit crazy, man. Like, You just don't know.
So
You know?
I didn't even talk about that. But what if the next Pepe launches off of the ShibaDoge ecosystem, off of the society, right?
Yep.
What if that one project that launches becomes that $1 billion project and we own 10% of that liquidity pool? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not always about the small wins that you get, the 50K, the 100K wins or whatever from like a project hitting 10 or 20 mil market cap. What happens when somebody comes in and they get lucky and they launch $1 billion project, right? And we own 10% of that. That's when things become crazy. And I didn't really talk about that because that's kind of like an anomaly. Like, the chances of that happening are much lower than us like consistently having projects that we make 50,000 to 100,000 off of. You know, compared to like that one project that'll come in maybe like once a year, or if that becomes a $1 billion project, and you know, our ecosystem makes a few $1 million off of it, and then everyone is just partying and like, you know, popping champagne bottles. So it's definitely a new and cool way to raise money. I don't think it's ever been done before in this ecosystem. Not in this ecosystem, but in this space. I don't think it's ever been done before. I think we're the first to kind of experiment with it. And obviously, over the years of working with people and building our reputation, no one's going to doubt if we're scammers or if we're cheats. Not, you know, like that's out of the question. The question is like, hey, how serious are you about wanting to do your project and want to make it successful from the very beginning? If you are, boom, this is our proposal. This is what it's going to take for us to get started. And yeah, that's how that would work. So I think it's gonna be good.
So the checks that you're gonna do, are they gonna be like rug proof? How safe are they gonna be?
There will be things that there will be precautionary things that we do, but there will be this there will be like a disclaimer that at the end of the day, you know, we are not the people behind the project. We are just the people that are helping introduce, onboard, and promote, and be kind of like the backbone of having launch support. At the end of the day, every decision that happens is based on the devs that run the project. But you know, there will be a vetting process, and there will be, you know, some things that we do to minimize that. And now, will rugs possibly happen? I mean, you never know, dude. It's crypto; they happen all the time. But you know, it's not going to be in our control whether that happens or not. We will do our best to try to work with, you know, the best people that we possibly can. But at the end of the day, our job is going to be to help people bring their ideas to life. Keeping them alive will help with as well, but they're going to be the sole decision makers on that, whether, you know, they continue their projects or not, because we're not going to run their projects for them. What we're going to do is we're going to help them and advise them to you know, how they should do it.
Yeah, that makes sense, bro. Like, you can only do so much, right? And then, you know, it's up to the investors to decide. But I think it'll be safer than just going and buying any token out there. At least you're going to vet them and speak to them and try and get a feel of what kind of people they are. You know, you'll get a feel of it. So
yeah, 100%. Look, at the end of the day, the number one goal is going to be to raise at least 1,000 ETH by the end of summer to put into the ShibaDoge ecosystem.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Like that, you know, 1,000 ETH into our ecosystem. Oh my god! Like, once that would be like worth so much. Hey Peter, what's up?
Hey Roof, yeah, 1,000 ETH will get us closer to all-time high almost.
Yeah,
and instead of somebody wanting those tokens will be burned and taken out of circulation.
Damn.
So instead of waiting on a tier 1 exchange for the right deal, we're just going to have to do it ourselves, right? We're going to generate the revenue. We're going to take that revenue. We're going to buy on the charts and burn the tokens.
Burn it all.
And that's an ambitious goal, man. If things go as planned, I mean, they could go better than planned, and they can obviously go worse than planned. But if things go as planned and we just follow that 1,000 ETH plan, that would technically mean by the end of summer, ShibaDoge would be back to its all-time high. That's what the goal is. Obviously, you know, there might be some people who take profits on the way up, but that's fine as well. You know, this isn't just a 1,000 ETH and done deal. This is going to keep going on. Like, the society is here to stay. It's gonna continuously keep offering its services to people, and you know, the better results people get, the more people are gonna want the society to have our launch support.
By the way, this is an ambitious goal, and we're gonna take it one step at a time and see how hard we can push it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like Leo, I'm thinking like if one of them hit, you know, and Peter, like if one of them hit, you never know, man. Like the guy that won the lottery, bro, he didn't. He thought in a million years it's not gonna be him. You know what I mean? And you're gonna have like a lot of lottery tickets here. You know, like one of them can hit some serious market caps. You just don't know, man. Like some of these devs, they're good, man. Like they come out with some crazy narratives, some crazy names, and they do their research, and all of a sudden, you know, it catches, and it hits, I don't know, 500 mil, a billion. It can happen, and if it's at the right time, when the market's moving, about to take off, if it's timed right, then you know, like you're telling me you're gonna hold 10% of that supply, and it hits a billion. Right, that's it, man. ShibaDoge is going to billions, bro.
And 10% is just like a number that I'm throwing out there. In some cases, you know, depending on what the negotiations are, that number could be more. And the minimum that we're going to be doing for people is 5%, depending on how much support they want and how the negotiations go. But, you know, a ballpark between 5 to 20% is still very good, you know, especially if it's, you know, 5% of $10 million is still a very large amount of money. You get what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it's definitely going to be something to be excited about.
Leo, can you answer this guy's question? The last Crypto Legion message. I don't think he understands the concept.
Crypto Legion is just community money. Moving to one token to another is not enough. We need new holders. We need marketing to bring outsiders in. So that's exactly what is happening with the introduction of this, where it's marketing everything that we've got going on. You don't need to buy this token if you don't want to. That's not the point. The point isn't to have like everyone in here be like, hey, let me go buy AMC. That's not the point. If you want to do that, great, do it. That's going to help our cause. That's going to help everyone's cause. It's going to help the growth of the project as well. That's cool. But you don't have to. I'm not sitting here and saying, hey, you have to go and buy this token. No, what this is this is going to be proving the concept of how it's going to be beneficial to the ShibaDoge ecosystem when projects launch onto the society. And we're going to do things in a pretty organized fashion where we'll be using our resources and using our launch strategies, because everyone knows we have strong launches. That's not a secret. Everyone knows that our launches are strong, and then somewhere between launch and mid phase is where things start to kind of struggle. So we're going to be using our launch strategies combined with a lot of the other scaling things that we've learned over the years to be able to prove the concept of pushing this token with the current meta and trying to generate as much money as we possibly can with it and raise as much money as we possibly can with it. One, to also make the token successful. Two, to also make as much money as we possibly can to bring back into this ecosystem. So it's not about are we marketing or not? This is a form of marketing, and this is a way of putting our name out there, using other people's projects and using other people's ideas to help them build, but also at the same time being a sponsor and being able to be the ones behind the brains of the operation to push those projects forward. At the end of the day, people are going to get a whiff and understand that percentage of all of the money raised from all of these projects using the society are coming into ShibaDoge. So if people see over a course of 6 months that, hey, ShibaDoge was able to raise 500 ETH by doing this, and they look at the chart and they're like, holy shit, okay, well, the chart is up X amount because of the results that they're getting. Guess what? They're going to want to invest into the project and be a holder, because they're going to see the reaction that's happening from the success that it generates. So it's a form of marketing. In my opinion, it's probably one of the most effective ways of marketing.
So I agree. It's a flipping utility, bro.
Exactly.
It's like other projects that they have to bring out certain things to generate funds, right? And you're doing this, and where's the most money in crypto, bro? Like, it's in launches, man. Like, that's where the money is. Everybody flipping goes crazy on launches all the time, you know. So you're bloody bang on with this one, bro. Bang on.
Exactly, Roof. We're taking our experience, what we've learned in the past year or two in this space, and we're going to leverage that and to generate as much revenue we can and put it into the ecosystem and burn the tokens.
And not to mention, being able to create jobs and be able to create forms of income for our community as well. Like, the best people in our community, the OGs, the people that I know on a personal level, I will definitely be open to having conversations if, like, Eric or Beitosh or whoever, Jeff, Jalive, anybody in here that I know and I trust, and say, like, hey, Leo, like, I have this idea, I have these guys that I'm friends with, they want to do X, Y, and Z, I'm more than open to giving people a very fat commission. So you guys can make good money by not even investing the single dollar, but by just bringing people and helping us on board. You guys can make a ton of money as well. This is something where anybody can do. All you have to do is get in contact with me, tell me that you've got something, and as soon as we close the deal, you guys will get a certain percentage, or you guys will get a payment from me personally and from our project personally, for your work. So it's something that doesn't exist in this space, where people cannot really make a commission off of many of the things that they do, and we're going to be giving that opportunity to a lot of our core community members, and honestly just anybody that wants to grow and has that ambition to grow. So yeah, man. Javance asks, how can you explain that your launch is strong and ShibaDoge is still struggling to move? So that's kind of an irrelevant question, because if you look at the history and how the launch of ShibaDoge went extremely well, and it broke records at the time. It literally broke records at the time, and it reached a $300 million market cap within 45 days of its inception. So that's how I can explain to you that our lunch, like you spelled, you can't even spell launch, but our lunch is as strong as that. Crypto Buddha asks, Leo, what income opportunity for OG or commission can you elaborate, please? Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll build a structured sheet out for like how the commissions and payments will be for people that help us on board. I don't want to elaborate right now, because that's just going to be numbers that I'm throwing out of my head. I'm going to sit down and finalize like what the strategy will be for members that help us on board, and I'll have a sheet and a little PDF file that I'll share with you guys, and I'll post that in either the society channel group or the society main group, and you guys will be able to see based off that. And what I'll do is I'll make it as a multiplier. So the more projects you do, the better your commission rates will be, and there will be like bonuses and things of that nature that we'll be paying out to people as well.
Bro, ShibaDoge has 480 ETH in the flipping project, bro. How can anyone say anything about ShibaDoge? Like, that's too stupid, man. Like, how many projects have got close to 500 ETH in the liquidity pool? Like, go and have a look on Dex and show me. You can't show me, man, because they're hard to find. They're very rare. So, like, with the ETH pumping alone, ShibaDoge, like, even if you don't do this, bro, like, ShibaDoge is gonna go crazy at the right time, you know. But with what you're doing now, like, this is gonna go to billions and billions, man. Like, I don't want to even guess, but it's gonna shock people. It's gonna shock people, man. Like, it's like getting a tier 1, like going on Coinbase, like Peter said. You know, it's like a tier 1, but you're gonna just do it yourselves, right? And just pump
So
the
if you
money.
think about if you think about it that way, I'd never thought about it like that. But the way that you just phrased it, it's pretty interesting. We're kind of like a decentralized exchange at that point, because we're going to be like, exchanges own percentage of the tokens and projects that are listed on there, right? They have holdings of those. So
Yeah.
in a sense, in a way, this makes us kind of like a decentralized type of an exchange, not an official exchange or anything, but like the way that we will be operating is like, obviously we're going to be owning stake in all of the projects, and where do you end the valuation on that, right? Like, what if at the end of the year you look at it and say, like, holy shit, like the ShibaDoge vault or the society vault owns $4.5 million worth of random tokens that have launched on the society over the course of a year, and you look at all that and you're like, holy shit, okay, that's a crazy valuation. And then if you're taking that money and putting it into ShibaDoge, and ShibaDoge has, for example, like you said, 500 ETH in its pool right now, and we put 1,000 ETH more by the end of summer, that's 3xing the pool, right? And
Yeah.
that's a pretty big number. That's
Yeah.
a pretty big number.
Yep. And then what happens when ETH goes to 10, 20, 30K, bro? Then what happens?
Exactly. That's the thing. That's what Peter was saying earlier today too. Peter was saying earlier today, he's all like, well, what if ETH goes to 10K at the time? Because we were trying to do like the calculations as to how much market cap we would be at if 1,000 ETH were injected tomorrow, right? And we came up with the number that it would be very close to the all-time high, if not a little bit over or a little bit under. And then he was like, dude, but if ETH goes to 10K, then that changes everything. Then it's like, our market cap hits like half a $1 billion or something close to that ballpark.
And that's gonna happen, man. Like, if anyone doesn't think ETH is gonna go to 10, 20K, like, I don't know what to say, man. Like, seriously, ETH is gonna pump. So, like, it's like saying, ShibaDoge is down right now. Well, you need to understand, man, ShibaDoge is wrapped with Ethereum. Like, and we got 500 Ethereum in the liquidity pool right now. And they're going to try and inject another 1,000 into the liquidity pool at current prices. So when ETH goes to 10, 20K, then, this project is going to close to $1 billion just by doing that alone. I mean,
also keep in mind, with burning the tokens, the value of the tokens at the same market cap is your value is higher. So in the beginning, you need to have, for example, you bought one quint for $1,250 at the all-time high. That should be now $1,300 or $1,400 worth. So burning tokens is also good for the project.
Yeah,
100%, because that it's a straight up injection at that point, because that's money coming in, and the only way that it would come out is if the community decides to take money out. Us injecting money doesn't give us the option of removing it after we burn the tokens, right? So it's like, that's just straight money coming in from the plan and from the execution of how the society is going to operate. And then, not to mention, like, if 1,000 ETH is bought at these prices, that would burn close to a third of the circulating supply that's in the open float of Uniswap. And that's a very big number, especially at these market caps. we won't be able to achieve 3, 4, 5% numbers like that in the future when the market cap is a lot higher. So it's going to be more effective early on in this stage than it would be later on in the stage where the market caps are much higher, because obviously then 1,000 ETH wouldn't buy you as many tokens as it would now.
So yeah, fill your bag before it happens. Not financial advice.
And not finance, exact. That's the key word. I can't tell you what to do with your decisions, but what I could tell you is what we're going to be doing moving forward, and our plans of how we want to attempt to scale our projects and attempt to scale our brands and attempt to build this new type of business with the society. And I think it's definitely something that could really, really work, because before I even became a creator in this space, before I ever launched my first project or anything, I didn't know what it took to launch a project. If I knew somebody that I could trust that could guide me through the whole thing from A to Z, of course I would have been like, yeah, dude, here's 5%, here's 10%, help me through it all. Because that's the most intimidating thing, right? Like, a lot of people don't know how to create a smart contract, deploy a smart contract, run the functions on it, do the whole marketing side of things, not get scammed by the fake people on Telegram, have marketing KOL managers, have, just everything given to them on a silver platter. Doesn't exist, especially for people who are new to the space. So I know a lot of people have really great ideas, and a lot of people have a really strong work ethic. They're just intimidated to get into the space because, let's be real, like, it's not something that is very easily accessible and easily maneuverable for people. Like, it's pretty scary space, especially considering, like, you talk to one wrong guy on Telegram and you get scammed out of $5,000 or $10,000 because you paid for a service to some dude who lives in a field and God knows where. So, with us giving launch support, like, people never have to worry about things of that nature.
Leo, cousin KK.
What up, cousin?
What up? What up? Again, you guys are knocking it out of the park. This is exciting. This is interesting. And, you got a lot of people, like you say, ready for something fresh and new, and you guys deliver. But congrats. Good job.
Thank you, brother.
My question is, are you guys sort of interested in projects that have launched already? Because I've launched a project a little while back, and it's very similar to what I'm seeing on your website. But I kept it unrenounced for a reason, because I wanted to attract a large project to come in and either help or assist or guide. But is that something you guys may be interested in? It's already launched, and,
For you personally, if it were anyone else, I wouldn't be interested. But for you personally, we'll have a conversation. We'll talk. We'll see what we can do for you.
That's super. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, for sure, brother. So give me a couple of days. Let's get all of this stuff out of the way, and then I will be in direct contact with you, and we'll figure out a good plan for yourself, my friend.
Super. Thank you. Congratulations.
You got it, bro.
And while you're here, bro, can you just check your DM? I sent you a message, cousin KK.
I'll do it, Bruce. Thank you, man.
Thank you, bro. Unless you don't want the money you won, I can take it.
I've already got it, baby. I've already got it.
I mean, yo, I'm having to chase people to give them the winnings, bro. Like, I'm literally chasing them. You know what I mean?
That's funny. That's funny.
Oh man, chase no more. I'll be there. I'll check it out. Thank you.
All right, bro.
Things like that, gentlemen. Any other questions? If not, I do have a call that Peter and myself need to hop on with someone else. They're just waiting for us to finish this up. But
I have one question for the game.
Yeah. Yes.
For now, my NFTs are in the war zone. Does that affect anything?
No. It doesn't affect anything. But in the future, that we're gonna try to build a way where people, because obviously when you like put your NFT in the Warzone, it goes out of your wallet into the Warzone wallet, right? Yeah, so very easily we'll be able to kind of build a smart contract that recognizes which wallet address deposited into the Warzone, and it would keep track, that the game would keep track of the depositor address and count that as a holder, right? So the smart contract would take care of that. So even if the NFT is not in your wallet but is in the Warzone holding wallet, then the game would recognize that you're still an owner of that because you've put that NFT into the Warzone.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
How are you?
Good. I just have one quick question. Like, I just joined late there. Maybe you guys told about it. What's going on with the gold coin? Like, you guys.
So the gold coin is going to be part of the support that the entire ecosystem gets. So everything that we've talked about today isn't only based off of just what's going to happen to ShibaDoge, but the entire ecosystem is going to be getting percentages of the funds that are raised and generated through the launches and the buybacks that we want to do. So subconsciously everything is going to be eating off of that. There are different things that we're working on as well to try to introduce for each and every one of the things in their ecosystem that are like one-off little marketing things and different utility advancements that we're trying to like build and then onboard. For obviously for DaVinci, we have the AI thing that the AI image generator that still needs to be released, so that's being worked on to come out. For gold, there obviously is a whole meme element of gold, and gold was launched as a meme coin, but there's still some types of cool little marketing things and things of that nature that we can introduce in the future to kind of pump a little bit more life back into it. But right now, what we're focusing on is the things that are going to be able to generate as much revenue for our ecosystem as possible, because that's what's honestly needed to push everything. Without revenue, you're really stuck in a corner with a heart. You're stuck in a corner, and it's going to be hard to get out, because to operate in this space and to be able to push your projects further, you don't need just a little bit of money. You need a lot of money to be able to work with. We've already put a lot of money in the stages of building, introducing things, and also like the initial stages where we were able to reach the heights that we did. Cost us a tremendous amount of money. At this point, we're at a stage where the money that we've put in needs more support, and that's why we're using our tactics to be able to use our and leverage our experience and leverage our specialties into helping other people, and using that as a service to be able to raise more funds for our projects.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem, brother. I got Alex in here talking to this drunk Sonny. All right, guys. Any other questions? If not, I'm gonna hop off here and then tell this other guy that I'm ready for our call, and we could definitely be talking again over the weekend. Obviously, with the First Society launched America's meme coin AMC token, we do want that to come out on Tuesday, so I'm going to be releasing more information on that. You guys could join the Telegram for that. I've already pre-built it. I'll go ahead and drop the link in here. You guys could join it and kind of be a part of the growth from the beginning.
Leo, they can't be part of the first 10 though. It's impossible.
You're the first 10, dude.
Number one.
That's
I'm
right.
number 2. I'm number 2.
We're not doing a separate Telegram though for AMC, right? We're just leading everyone to the society.
You want to do it out of the society Telegram? I could totally do that.
Yeah. So that keeps growing. One community keeps growing instead of 10 different Telegrams.
Good shout, Peter. Good shout.
I could totally do that. Let me delete this then. Let's just link the society Telegram back again instead. I'll just delete that Telegram in general then we just have to tell our web manager to change the link on the website to the society group instead of that group that I created.
Yeah, so with every launch, the society will get bigger. and each launch theoretically should be bigger than the previous launch.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good idea, because then every project, we'll have a buy bot for every project that's launched on the society, and everything will get reported in that. So yeah, that's a good call.
Yo, Leo.
What up, drunkie?
What's up, bro?
Nothing much, brother. How are you?
Yeah, good, bro. Good, man. Very important question, Leo. What's your favorite gin, bro?
My favorite gym?
Gin.
Jed?
Drink.
What's a Jed?
He's on about
bro.
gin and tonic.
Gin. Look, I'm not a gin drinker, but Alex one time ordered me something. What was it called? A dry gin martini with a lemon twist. And it sounded so good when he ordered it. I was like, oh, this is going to be amazing. You know, it sounds good. It sounds like it's like a special drink. Then they brought it to the table, and I'm looking at it. It looks good. I take a big sip, and I swear it was the nastiest thing I've ever drank in my life. So I never drank gin again after that. I'm a tequila and vodka guy myself. Yeah, it's nasty.
Man. Where's Alex, bro? I need Alex in here. How can you not drink gin, Leo, man? Anyways, I didn't hear the AMA, bro, but I'm gonna listen.
It's okay. When you sober up, you'll listen to it. You'll listen to it when you sober
whatever
up.
you guys do, I'm fully behind, man. So let's go. But gin, bro, Leo, we need to get you to drink gin, man.
I'll pop a bottle of gin after we raise 1,000 ETH.
Easy, man. Come on, bro. Walk in the park. Anyways, love you all. Take care.
Love you, brother. Talk soon. All right, guys. I'm going to call it here because I don't want to be too late for our 3 o'clock call with that guy. Keep your eyes open for the Telegram. Join the Society Telegram. Everything is going to be pretty much centralized there, so there won't even be a different Telegram for any of the Society launches that obviously we do. The Society launches that other people do, they will have their own Telegram, but we will have a mirrored image of the buys and everything, you know, being reported in the Society Telegram as well. So keep that in mind. That's a good idea. We're going to be moving forward with that. Join that over the weekend, over the next couple of days, and possibly tonight. I will be sharing more information. I will be making more pinned posts, and I will be doing some giveaways as well in the Society Telegram. So if you want to win some money, if you want to win some tokens, if you want to win a date with me, a fancy date, maybe the movie, dinner, something like that, join the Society Telegram.
Are you providing the plane flight then?
All right, guys. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you guys for joining. We do have, like I said, some more exciting things coming up over the coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. I didn't want to put everything on the table today, but I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. And as always, if you missed Shiba, that sucks. If you missed Doge, that also sucks. If you miss ShibaDoge and everything else we got going on in the ecosystem, then you might as well kick yourself in the ass because you suck. So with that being said, I love you guys. Peace.
Love, peace.